No Chill Sports is an unapologetic, high-energy sports show where opinions fly fast and facts hit hard. The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of any affiliated networks, sponsors, or partners. Content may include passionate debates, bold predictions, and unfiltered takes that some viewers may find intense or controversial. Listener discretion is advised. If you're looking for chill, this ain't the place.
Hey, welcome back to the Rant with Pough Ant, where the mics stay hot, the takes are bold, the truth is unfiltered. No scripts, just two voices bringing the heat with heart, real, raw, and unapologetically honest. It's your host with the most. I'm your man, Pooh Bear, along with the professor himself, schooling these fools on sports on a daily basis. My man, Ant Petty Mercury. What's good with you, my boy?
What's happening with the big dog? Watching this South Carolina Texas game right now.
I ain't even watching.
Good
I
matchup,
know I
man.
need to be.
Pretty good matchup so far.
Yeah. Man, it's been a good day. We're approaching a national championship, so we got to talk about that tonight. NFL playoffs going on, and we're getting to that point in the season where a lot of us become sad for another 8 months or so, or however long it take to get to 6 months. 6 months, however long it take for us to get to start a college football again. But we got a good one in store for you tonight. Look forward to breaking down the college game, the college matchup, and also talk about some of these playoff game, NFL playoff games. We might talk a little bit of basketball or something. I don't know, but we shall see. But first, you know what we gotta do? Gotta give a shout out to our sponsors. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Your brand deserves more than basic. It deserves bold. It deserves clean. It deserves Kelly Creations. From screen prints that pop, to embroidery that speaks volumes, to picture tees that tell your story, Donald D.K. Kelly does it all. Give him a call today at 225-202-2625 or shoot him an email at kellycreations225@gmail.com. That's KELLYKREATIONS 225@gmail.com. And don't forget to tell them No Chill Sports sent you. Kelly Creations. Nobody does it better. Dubby is a powdered energy drink aimed at gamers and individuals seeking focus and energy. It's known for its clean ingredients, no jitters, and various flavors. W is also available in a hydration formula for those needing electrolyte. W achieves its smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Try W today by scanning the QR code you see on the screen or visit them on the website at bit.ly/no-chill-dubby. Dubby, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. Hey, we are back. How do we get switched? Okay. Came back confused in this thing, but we are back. Want to start breaking down. But first, man, let's talk about Miami. The journey they took to get here, and why they can win this game. So Miami, in this playoff, has taken on Texas A&M, um, Ohio State, and Ole Miss. Uh, they are averaging 21.7 points per game. They are giving up 14.7 points per game. So they're a touchdown, winning by a touchdown on average. Yards for 342.7, yards against 352. Uh, those are the stats. Now, how have they looked? To be honest with you, they've looked more physical and dominant in every game they've played thus far, this playoff. They've been able to play as the underdog in pretty much every game, coming in as the 10 seed. And let's be real, they were the last team taken.
Yep.
And they made it this far. Very, very, very unlikely journey. On ACC almost didn't get in, and they're making ACC proud. Carson Beck has probably added some to his draft stock. Malachi Tony has added some to his legacy. And that defense is looking stout. What you got, Ant? What you think about them?
So I think their defense can keep them in any game. Their front four is probably the most dominant we've seen in the playoffs. Just like game changing. But I don't think they faced a complimentary team like they will see against Indiana. I guess like Ohio State would probably be the closest because against Texas A&M, nobody really threw the ball. Ole Miss really couldn't run the ball outside of that long Lacey touchdown run, 76 yards or whatever it was. So I guess this is Ohio State would be kind of the closest that we've seen, but I still think their defense will keep them in the game enough. It just, in my opinion, depends on their offense. In the playoffs, they average more rushing yards per game than passing yards per game, which shows me that Fletcher and those boys in the backfield have to have a big game in order for them to have a chance. No disrespect to Carson Beck, but he just kind of needs to not lose the game if they're going to get the run game that they've gotten the last 3 games in the playoffs so far. If Carson Beck has to go win the game for them, I think they might be in trouble. Just because I don't know against a good Indiana defense if I trust him to not make mistakes. Well, not make too many mistakes to where he cost them the game. We've seen him at times this season in the games that Miami has lost not look very good. No interceptions, turn the ball over. So if you do that against Indiana, that's ball game. Look at what happened last week versus Oregon. First series of the game, pick 6, and it was downhill from there. So I think if Miami is going to win the game defensively, they just kind of need to keep doing what they're doing, not run man-to-man too much. Just drop back in zone and let that let that pass rush get after you. You don't have to do a lot of blitz and just let them dudes on the front and get after Mendoza and see if you can kind of rattle him with pressure where he makes a mistake. If not, and keep your offense in it. Offensively, they, like I said, run the ball and don't ask Carson Beck to do too much.
Yeah, completely agree. As you know, Battle of the Camera continues. Camera one, Pooh none. But yeah, it's a Carson Beck managed the game type game with them. I think last week, or what's that? Yeah, I guess it was last week against Ole Miss, where the game started slipping away from them was when they got away from the run and tried to do too much. And honestly, we were sitting there saying, run the ball at the end of the game. And they finally ran the ball, and it was some ridiculous looking RPO or not even RPO, read option with Carson Beck, and he tried to keep it and fail. Ironically, the game was won on his legs.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't think that's going to be enough against Indiana. However, I think a way that that Miami can win this game is if they maintain that physicality throughout the game. I don't think anybody's going to disagree that Miami has more talent in this game. Where Indiana beats a lot of teams because it's several teams that they've played this year that they have not been the most talented team on the field. However, they are the team that gave the most effort. And if I'm Miami, you can't play down. Let me rephrase that. If you're Miami, you cannot get into this mode where you find yourself being complacent. You know, you're looking across and you say, "Man, I can beat this dude. I can whoop this dude. I'm bigger than him." And all of a sudden, you're getting drove off the ball. To win this game, Miami is going to have to be physical. They're going to have to keep the ball out of Mendoza's hand. And Carson Beck has to be smart. Indiana has scored so much. Oh, I'm sorry. They've caused so many turnovers in the first few plays of games. If you give them the ball, they're going to score. Miami has to play sound. They have to be disciplined. And they've got to maintain intensity for 60 minutes.
I agree.
Now, on the flip side of things, I want to talk about Indiana and their journey. Indiana came into this as the number one seed. In the playoffs, they've beaten Alabama and Oregon. They're averaging 35.7, only giving up 11.7. So they're outscoring opponents by 3 possessions, 24 points. They're gaining 369.7 yards, and they're only giving up 297.7 yards. And these numbers are not just from the player. This is from because they've only played 2 games. I went back to the Ohio State game as well and threw that in there. I guess technically they've got the common opponent of Ohio State playing them, probably within 3-4 weeks of each other. Miami held Ohio State to 14. Indiana held them to 10. Yardage wise, hold on, give me 1 second. Yardage wise, Ohio State was able to move and do pretty well on both teams, but they just couldn't push it through. Yeah, Indiana. I think the path for them continue to be physical, continue to play hard, continue to push through.
Yeah. Indiana is in the playoffs is averaging 200 yards a game rushing. Um, that once again is more rushing yards than passing yards in the playoffs. The last two games. I guess it's kind of similar to them, and it's crazy to say when they have a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, but it's like don't ask him to do too much. Um, like you say, be physical, keep that downhill running game going with him being them boys, and dang, South Carolina pulled it out. Keep that downhill running game going, play action off of it with like allowing Mendoza to attack downfield with Surratt and them boys out wide. So I think it's very similar to what Miami wants to do offensively. And I think it's gonna kind of come down to which team can establish their running game, um, and which team sticks with their running game once it gets established. I think Indiana will be able to run the ball. My question is how well can they hold up in pass protection if they get to a situation where they have to throw the football? Um, when you got Bane, Mesidor, and them guys screaming off the edge when they know you have to pass the ball, whether it be obvious third down situations or if they get behind by a couple possessions, um, I think that's where they might get in trouble. So as long as they stay within a possession and they can keep running the ball, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, completely agree. Um, One thing I haven't talked about, me and you haven't really talked about, and I honestly don't think it's going to be as big of a factor as people made it out to be. I think it makes for a great storyline. Miami's basically in a home game,
Mhm.
playing in I ain't gonna say basically, they are in a home game. They're the visiting team, but they're playing in their home stadium. Uh, the knock on this all season has been that Miami fans don't really show up. Uh, I think they'll show up to this one. However, if Indiana fans travel anything like they traveled to that Peach Bowl, I think we see a 60-40 split in the stands with Indiana fans.
Yeah, I think Indiana fans definitely gonna be there, and I mean, you got to think this their first time making it this far. Like they emptying out the bank accounts to go to this.
Hmm.
They maxing out the credit cards for a nosebleed seat. So
Oh yeah,
I think I don't know how much the crowd will factor into it. I don't know if Miami is gonna have a de facto home game like a lot of people think they will, because I think Indiana definitely gonna show up. They gonna travel real well like they have been all playoffs. So I don't think the crowd much of a factor into.
yeah. Um, we've talked about a little bit of everything with this game. Uh, how do you see this one playing out? Who you got?
So originally, I had Indiana making it and losing to Georgia.
Hmm.
So I feel like I kind of can't switch up from that. I had Indiana making it, didn't have Miami making it past the first round. So I mean, I'm gonna pick Indiana to win a close, ugly ball game.
Ooh.
I think it's gonna be like 21-17, 20-17 type, 23-20, something along them kind of lines. I think the spread was at 8.5. I think
Yeah, last time
almost
that was the last time I checked. Let
eight,
me
eight and
double
a
check.
half, something like that. Either way, I think that's too many. I don't think this is more than a one score game, just because I think Miami's defense can keep it close enough for them to kind of stay within striking distance. But I ultimately think that between Carson Beck, and we haven't even mentioned this, Indiana having the clear coaching advantage, in my opinion. So between Carson Beck and crystal balling, I feel like a late mistake swings the game in Indiana's favor, and they win by a field goal or something late, late touchdown, something like that, in like the last 2 minutes of the game to win it all.
All right. I picked Indiana to win it all.
That you did.
I've been on this Cincinnati kind of thing.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I saw somebody. I had to steal that. I like that. I think he is phenomenal coach. He has the winning formula. He knows how to get the most out of his players. I think Indiana is primed and ready to make history. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and clip this, because if I'm wrong, they're gonna crucify me. I don't think this is gonna be close. I don't think 8.5 is enough. I think Indiana wins by at least 2 touchdowns. I know I'm gonna get crucified for saying this. Now, I will say this: I see a path for Miami to win this game, and if they win this game, it's gonna be close. But if Indiana wins, it's a blowout. I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there. No disrespect. I think what Miami has done, they've made me a believer, and I don't think that they're done after this season. I think they'll find a quarterback in the portal, or well, shoot, they probably it's maybe too late. I think they'll find something and work through it, and I think Miami will be back. And yes, Cristobal did have to leave Oregon to find success. I just don't think that right now, with the way things have gone.
No, I mean, I see, I see why you say blowout, because Indiana has blown out the teams they played in the playoffs. But I keep going back to the whole Miami is essentially Ohio State to Indiana, and that was
I get what you're saying.
so
Yeah,
that's
I
I get
understand what
where
you're
you're
saying. Yeah.
coming from though, but that's the only thing that keeps me from going that far with
Here's my theory on that. I think in the Big Ten championship, there was so much pressure on Indiana. They had to get over that hump. I feel like that was their
That's valid.
let me find a way to win. So I need to taste the win. I need to taste what championship tastes like. Now they got that blood in their mouth and they hungry.
I feel that.
I realistically think that Indiana is going to be probably the first half is going to be close. They're going to be a little bit back and forth as far as how the game goes. Maybe not a lot of scoring. It may be like a 6-3 game late in the second quarter. But then in the second half, it's going to get blown wide open. Carson Beck is going to turn the ball over. Miami's defense is going to get tired. because I think it's as good as that front four is. Ole Miss showed a path to beating them.
Mm-hmm.
Do a lot of quick play, quick what's called, quick pass, get away, get the ball out your hand fast, and then you can start taking deep shots. Speaking of deep shots, Danny asks, isn't Miami secondary their weakest part of their defense, technically? So will Indiana have to rely more on Mendoza's arm than they have though if they can break through on the ground?
Yeah, they will have to rely on Mendoza's arm more than they have for sure. Even, but I feel like if you can run the ball, you run the ball. Like that's what got you here. But I still feel like you attack the weakness that you saw on film from that Ole Miss game. That's why I said if I'm Miami, I play a lot of zone because they got in trouble. They got in trouble going man at times against the Ole Miss offense. So if you can run the ball, I think that allows you to play action off of that, set up some shots downfield. And it can kind of, in my mind, give you the same game plan in the way that Ole Miss had, except instead of using the quick pass game to open up the defense to take shots downfield, you just use the running game to do it. Kind of walk that safety down into the box a little bit, and then you can try to get some shots one-on-ones outside and take your shots. So that's how I think they could do it without having to abandon the running game or go away from the running game.
Yeah. I mean, Paul Sub says Miami wearing white at home for a natty. OU and Nebraska fans will be sending their regards to the Hoosiers.
Yeah, it's weird that they're the home team, and I mean they're the away team in their home stadium. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is. And then he also talks about Miami is going for the Crimson Trifecta, beating Oklahoma, Alabama, and Indiana, all for national titles. Who'd ever thought? Well, they lost to Alabama, didn't it? They lost to Alabama in '92, unless there was another one I'm missing.
Yeah, I know they beat Oklahoma for sure.
Yeah, I think they lost to Alabama '92. That was
unless it was in the '80s or something.
Yeah, that's the only one. I might be thinking something else, but yeah, man. You got anything else on this game? Anything else we didn't cover?
You got the over or under?
Oh, it's 48.5. I'm taking or is it 40? No, 47.5 now. I think is what it's down to. Hold on, I'm trying to see. I think it's down to 40. Yeah, it's 47.5. I'm taking the over.
I think I might take the under, fam. I personally probably am not gonna bet on the over under at all in this game, but I think because I think both teams run the ball so much that you don't get a lot of opportunities to score because you don't have that many possessions. I see both teams trying to have multiple 12-play, 80-yard drives that take 6 minutes off the clock. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know how many chances they're gonna get to score.
No, I definitely understand. I feel you on that. Yeah, I think that I'm just betting on this blowout, bro. I've got a strong feeling, and I don't think Indiana necessarily goes full Peach Bowl and scores that many on Miami. However, I think they can get them close, and if Miami chips in and fights, I think it could be really close.
Yeah,
So
I see why you picked the over, especially if you think it's gonna be a 2 possession game. So yeah, I
yeah,
get
yeah. Um, you got anything else on this one before I move on? Because I do got one
no.
thing. I was thinking today, bro. It's so much going on in the world. Um, and I hate to I'm not trying to get too political, but you got, some stuff going on in Minneapolis, fighting going on, possible war, Epstein files, all that kind of stuff. I don't want anybody to get distracted by the fact that Alabama got their ass blew out by 30 some points, and we ain't talked about that enough. I just want y'all to know that Alabama, yes, I'm being petty. They got blew out by 30 some points, and people ain't talking about it enough. I just want to put it out there. We can move on.
Feel that. Feel that.
Appreciate it. DK said those hats or those caps are lit. Um, he also asked any word on Corso being the guest picker.
No, they gotta make that happen though, man.
They do.
I know I said it the other day in spaces, like he loved Indiana so much, man. Like I just feel like it's only
It's
right, bro.
it's only right. He got to be back. Yeah. Speaking of the caps, man, y'all hit us up if y'all want them. We might can make that happen for y'all.
But
Probably start selling some of this stuff.
you know what? It would have. I know it wasn't no way in hell that shit was gonna happen. But the only thing that could have made it better is if it would have been Indiana versus Florida State.
Florida State. I agree. Or Indiana Louisville. That's the only other.
Yeah, man. I think
Yeah, it wasn't gonna happen. Yeah,
Florida State. I think more people tie him to Florida State than they do
that's
Louisville.
true.
You know
That's
what I mean?
true. I
So,
feel you on that. I feel you. Yeah. But man, like I said, I'm looking forward to Monday night. MLK birth. Speaking of happy birthday to Dr. Martin, the late Dr. Martin Luther King.
and rest in peace, Claudette Cloven.
Yes, yes. True story. My wife was actually born in the house that she grew up in.
That is very random, but dope at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
So
true face of the Montgomery bus boycott. But yeah.
yeah, yeah. So very, very. Um, NFL playoffs. This week we've got some. We got some actually pretty good matchups in the
In the
divisional round.
NFC.
Buffalo, Denver on Saturday. San Francisco, Seattle on Saturday night. Then you got Houston, New England Sunday at 2, and then you got the Rams and Bears on Sunday night. So at the end of the day, the NFC West will be represented.
Yeah, I think the NFC West is clearly the best division in football. If
Facts.
the 3 teams with 12 wins didn't prove that to you, I think the fact that, in my opinion, you're gonna have all NFC West conference championship game. I think that will prove it to you. So yeah, I think AFC leaves a lot to be desired with their matchups.
Mm-hmm. Let's start there. Let's start with the weakest one: Houston, New England.
Blowout. New England by at least 2 touchdowns. Well,
I mean,
the Houston
Houston,
defense.
Nico out.
Yeah, it's their defense though, bro.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't. I think their defense keeps it from being a blowout, but I don't think there's any doubt who's gonna win this game. New England easily wins by like 9, 10 points.
Yeah,
But I don't know how much Houston's offense will really be a threat to score.
that's very fair. Very fair. On the other end, you've got Buffalo taking on Denver.
I think this might be another blowout. The Bills have 3 wide receivers. That's Shakir, Keon Coleman, who has been like a healthy scratch multiple times this year, and Brandon Cooks, who started the year in New Orleans. So unless James Cook can rush for about 200 and Josh Allen rush for about another 75, I think they're gonna have trouble on offense. Because I mean, we talk about Houston defense.
Mm-hmm.
Denver defense ain't no slouch. With that front they got with Benito, Jonathan Cooper, and all them boys, and then Surtain and them on the back end. I don't see how Buffalo really gonna score a bunch of points in this game. But I think Buffalo's defense has been decent this year. I think Sean McDermott, this is his best coaching job that he's done with this defense because they really don't have a lot of talent over there, in my opinion, on defense that like they've had in the past. But yeah, I got Denver by like 14.
I can see it. I have no hopes for either one of those matchups. I'm with you, NFC.
NFC is two toss-ups, in my opinion, bro.
Yeah. We talked about Kyle Shanahan and the amazing job he's done over San Francisco. Ben Johnson look-alike in Seattle. I can't even think of dude's name, but he just every time I see him and Ben Johnson look alike.
Man McDonald.
Yeah. Him and the resurrection of Sam Darnold in Seattle with Jackson Smith and Jigba. My word.
Yeah.
But Sam Darnold, I just got word Sam Darnold has a oblique injury. I've seen this story before. Say he will play despite the oblique injury. So got that going on and with him. And then on the other side, you got the Rams and Bears. Bears make the very improbable 21 point. Well, I'm sorry. They were down by 18 points going in half, made the very improbable comeback, being down 21-3 to shake up Green Bay.
Possibly.
Yeah, they thought that LaFleur was out, but supposedly he's coming back.
Yeah, I don't think
they're working on deal. Thoughts on that game?
Oh man, so the Bears, Rams. I like what I saw from the Bears last week, coming back, historic comeback against their rival. But as much as I have to credit the Bears, I also have to point the finger at the Packers. Like they had a lot of questionable decisions by the coach, and the offense just imploded down the stretch. So I don't see Sean McVay and his offense doing that. Possible MVP, even though I don't think he is, Matt Stafford. He's been playing well this year. I think they can keep it going against the Bears. I don't know if the Bears can go score for score with the Rams, so I'll take the Rams by 6.
I meant to ask you this when we were talking about Buffalo and Denver. Is this the last game for McDermott?
Nah. If they look competent, I don't think so. But I don't see them fire. I think that'd be a little excessive in my opinion. But Denver only favored by 1.5. Like that screams trap to me, but I don't know. Maybe Vegas knows something that I don't.
Yeah, I don't know either.
You want to know what the biggest spread of the week is?
What is it?
Seattle -7. But no George Kittle for the 49ers.
Yeah,
No
toward
Fred,
that Achilles. Yeah.
no Fred Warner for the 49ers this weekend.
But you see, he's back running and everything.
Yeah, but I just literally just scrolled at the
No, I don't know. I'm just
yeah,
saying, but it's
it
just
literally like just scrolled at the bottom of the screen that they're not activating him. So I'm torn, bro, because the two-headed running game that Seattle got with Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, and the defense of Seattle, especially their front with Murphy and them boys, Leonard Williams and all them boys up front. I really want to pick Seattle, but it's hard for me to trust Sam Darnold in a big game, man. But I think the 49ers might have too many injuries. I know Shanahan's been doing it all year with a makeshift roster, but it's going to be a tough place to play coming in shorthanded. Give me Seahawks. That's a valid point.
Paulo says, cannot trust the Broncos. They've played down to their opponent too much this season, and the Bills will force Bo to beat them.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Tre'Davious White on Cortland Sutton.
It's gonna be interesting.
I like my chances if I'm Buffalo.
Yeah.
Matchup.
Yeah.
I just think that defense is gonna get them. I think that defense is worth 3 points at least. Now I think that defense can at least get you a field goal every game.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that. I won't disagree on that. All right. Other NFL news. We've seen the coaching shakeup that is going on. Mike Tomlin
$20 million for John Harbaugh, fam.
To the Giants.
$20 million.
It's interesting.
So okay, Mike Tomlin. I'm glad you.
Yeah.
If you Pittsburgh, who you call?
You want me to be honest?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Pittsburgh, first person I'm probably calling is Brian Flores.
That was my first thought. At first, also. I mean, look at their last 3 coaches, right?
Yeah.
All defensive minded guys.
Yeah.
But
you got. I ain't gonna say you got to go offense, but
no, I think Pittsburgh is gonna go defense because that's what Pittsburgh does. Flores is my first thought, but then it hit me. Nobody knew who Mike Tomlin was when he got hired.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody was like, yeah, that's the next up and coming guy in the NFL is, or a guy who's already had experience and nothing like that. It was kind of out of left field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the left field.
Devontae Jones.
Let's go to South Bend.
You said South Bend?
Let's go get Marcus Freeman, next head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think both fan bases would melt if that happened.
If you Pittsburgh, why you melting?
You getting that guy? That's that guy?
They didn't know who that guy was whenever
that's true. That's true. That is very left field. I
mean, Tomlin coached for what, 18 years?
19.
Before that was what, Bill Cowher. He coached for 15 years, something like that.
I tell you what, I do know. Yeah, I do know they've had three coaches since like 1960, something like that.
In 1968, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying. Whoever that they get, they gonna want them to be there for
Long
10
term.
plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Freeman ain't going nowhere. If you hire Marcus Freeman to be the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, he ain't retiring no time soon.
That's fair.
You don't think Marcus Freeman could not only have a hand in the defense, but also be a leader of men in the locker room?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm Pittsburgh, I call Marcus Freeman. It just fits to me, man. I don't know why, but now I know Atlanta's looking at Clint Kubiak, which I got a theory, but I'll save for another show. Well, we got time. So I feel like there's guys getting head coaching jobs that aren't ready for head coaching jobs because I feel like everybody's looking for the next Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan. So any
Mm-hmm.
young offensive mind is getting offers for a head coaching job or their name mentioned for head coaching jobs when they're probably nowhere near ready. Prime example, Mike McDaniel wasn't ready to be an NFL head coach. Prime example, when Bobby Slowick was mentioned for NFL head coaching opportunities. Prime example, Cliff Kingsbury, guys like that who have one good year as an offensive. Todd Monken, when his name was being thrown, like some of these people aren't ready to be NFL coaches. But yeah, every now and then there's a Dave Canales or a Liam Cohen who's ready after like 1 or 2 years as a coordinator. But for most part, these dudes aren't ready to be NFL head coaches just because they can call a few plays on offense and scheme up some stuff like they playing Madden or something. But at the end of the day, being an NFL head coach is more than just giving your team an offensive advantage in play calling. You have to know how to lead people. And I think some of these guys are getting opportunities way too early simply because they check off part of the application process. He can call plays, he can help the offense, check, but can he lead? Like, can he get guys to buy into what he's selling? And I think not everybody's willing or able to do that. And I think there's some like Kellen Moore and Liam Cohen, great season this year, like, in Jacksonville, even Canales and in Carolina, but like I don't feel like some of these people are ready, but everybody's looking for the next guy. So yeah, like Mike McDaniel probably gonna get a head coaching job again. Simply
Yeah.
because there's 9 openings and there ain't 9 people that really should get one. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like these teams need to go outside the box a little bit more and stop trying to find the next Sean McVay because there's only a handful of offensive guys who can really lead a team. Nobody wants a defensive-minded coach no more. Nobody does. But I mean, hey, Seattle got a defensive-minded head coach. Buffalo got a defensive-minded head coach.
Detroit
He's not really defensive-minded. He's
Mm.
either-minded. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's EO type. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, like, there's teams that have had success with defensive-minded head coaches. And last year, Washington made it to the conference championship game with a defensive-minded head coach. So I mean, like, I don't feel like you have to go offense to be successful. Some of these guys that y'all are interviewing for head coaching jobs need to stay as coordinators. So get you one of them whiz kid type guys as coordinator and get you a great defensive Flores type guy as head coach and partner him with a young offensive mind, and you got a recipe for success.
I like it. You mentioned Liam Cohen. Have you seen the uproar in the media world about The lady basically
Complimenting.
complimenting him
Yeah.
and all the journalists, a big J journalist,
Yeah.
having a fit.
Yeah. I so two things.
Mm-hmm.
I understand their criticism.
Yep.
Because I do feel like there is a time and a place. And I don't necessarily know if that was the right time or place. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I don't think that it's as big of a cardinal sin, I guess, as some are making it say. I've seen people say her credentials need to be pulled and stuff. Like, I'm not going that far with it. And my second point is week 17, Cleveland last home game of the season, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
There was a reporter who pretty much complimented Kevin Stefanski and was like, "Hey, I know you've had a hard hand dealt to you this year with the injuries and offense that's just not up to par and all this kind of stuff. And I hope you're back next year. I hope this ain't the last time that we get to talk to you. And I'm not making the trip next week, so I hope I get to talk to you again going forward." And there was no outrage for that. But that's just as unprofessional as what the Jacksonville reporter did. So I feel once again we're picking and choosing what we're gonna be outraged about instead of holding the same standards across the board for everybody who's in that profession. If you're gonna hold all journalists to the same standard, then call that guy out, ask for his credentials to be stripped and everything, just like you did the lady in Jacksonville. I mean, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. And I think we got to stop picking and choosing and have a selective outrage over stuff and be more consistent and hold things the same across the board.
I like how you put that. And I agree two things can be true. Where there's I understand there's a standard in journalism and there's a time to be quote unquote professional.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to say this. We are in a time in this world, whether political, whether social, whether in sports, you name it, all aspects, where a little bit of common decency is a breath of fresh air. I scroll up and down social media every day and see people going at it over the dumbest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first saw this clip and somebody and saw that somebody was commenting on it and upset, this I hadn't. I looked at it with the mute down, so I didn't pay any attention to it.
My bad.
Oh, you good? When I looked at it and finally saw it and took it off mute and heard what people are upset about, I want to go back and forth with people on Twitter about it because I felt like it was stupid again. I haven't seen you don't see much common decency nowadays. And for somebody to just say, I get what you're saying. There's a time and a place to probably I don't think it hurts anything. He didn't seem to mind it. I don't think he was gonna cut his press conference short after that.
Well, they said nobody got their questions. Nobody was not allowed to ask a question. You see, so everybody got to ask whatever they wanted to ask. So I mean, and I think somebody it was like 27 seconds or something like. So it's not the biggest inconvenience in the world. Everybody got to
Exactly.
ask their question. So it's definitely you can't use the argument of time or
You're right. And that's my
hinder the
point.
press
Yeah.
conference or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point. So I thought it was ridiculous. I understand the sentiments, but at the same time, I think there are other things, more pressing things that we could be worried about. There are a lot of other very unprofessional journalism that's taking place. If we want to go there, I'm with you. Let's not pick and choose. Because if I had my choice, I'm gonna pick those journalists that make up news stories or paint a narrative in one place or one a facet or another to villainize coaches for different things or players for different things. Or I would like to point out the situations where journalists bury stories because they don't want to talk about different things. It's disingenuous to me, and I feel like those are much worse than what we saw. But that's me. I'm not. I didn't go to Big J school, but I am a very staunch listener of the sports media. So that's my last take.
Hey, in other news, the rich just got richer.
Mm.
The back-to-back defending World Series champions just signed Kyle Tucker.
I can't hate. I can't say anything because shout out to my dog Julian, bro. Julian sent me a message the other day. Said, "Hey, did you see the Cardinals let go of such and such?" And I just sent him a gift back. It's like, I don't know what the hell we doing here.
Oh, y'all traded Arenado?
It was there was some, who was it? Julian told me we got rid of, and I was just like, I don't know what the hell we're doing here. It's like I have no idea of the strategy anymore.
I know y'all traded Arenado to the Diamondbacks.
Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan Arenado. Yeah.
Yep. Said we're trading. Yeah, I was like, I don't.
Yeah, at least Kyle Tucker not going back to the Cubs. We helped y'all out never go.
Man.
But they did get Alex
Bregman. Yeah, that's why I saw that too. And I was just,
they overpaid him, in my opinion. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, we do what we do, baby.
It was good.
Blue.
Dodgers going crazy. Good man. I appreciate you taking time away from the slacks and the button ups. Come holler at us. But yeah, that's all I got, man. You got anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I know I'll be traveling. We'll so yeah, we won't have a show. You got, I know you got date night on who said go? I'm finna ban you.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Appreciate you for watching, but that ain't the way to make your entrance, my boy.
Listen, I don't watch much baseball, MLB baseball, but when I watch MLB baseball,
you watch the Cubs lose.
I love watching the Cubs lose. I can't stand the Cubs. I have no reason other than the fact that I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan. So I have no other reason to hate the Cubs other than that. Somebody was like, well, it was good for them to break the curse. I was like, I hope they go another 108 years.
Facts.
So what's the little Bartman?
Yeah, Steve Bartman.
He's a hero in my eyes. Go Steve Bartman. But nah, Fredo, appreciate you for tuning in, man. But yeah, man, I ain't got nothing.
No show Sunday. I got a date night with the wife and all that. And then we might be back Wednesday, but I gotta see if I'm gonna get thrown out of another junior high basketball game.
If Wednesday or Thursday, either one, we'll see. I mean, we can.
Yeah, I know I got a basketball game to go get thrown out of, one of them two games. So
yeah,
so we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But let me go and get the music going. They move the buttons around on me, so. There you go. All right. But man, appreciate everybody for tuning in. What's up, Crook? Hold on, I just want to. Crook came in. Oh no, Crook a Southern fan. I was gonna say, never mind. I was say, Crook, we did y'all a favor. We took down Jackson State, men and women. So
yeah, we talk about Alabama State too, though.
ooh, we didn't talk about that. We'll have to say that for. I gotta get some more info. We'll say that for next week. But like that, we out. See y'all next week.